Nerding Out OG episode 4. And welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I am your host, Scotty827, and Swim Boy, Swimmy, as I call him in my head, is joining me live here in studio, and you are witness to the second time I think that's ever happened, where I've
Hey
gotten
guys,
it the first time. How's it going, Swim Boy?
it's going good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the podcast. Excited to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thank
There's been
you.
there's been a lot of drama in the clan since you joined. And by drama I mean hurricanes
Yeah.
and spirit walks and a lot of FCing lately, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's been hours and hours and hours.
So welcome to the podcast, Spirit Swim Boy. Spirit Boy is probably gonna be your new. Do you want to give us a little introduction to yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I actually don't know which account I started with, but I started playing back in 2018. That
2018.
was I first got my first iPad then. My parents waited a long time to like get me into
For
electronics and stuff.
good reason.
Yeah. And so yeah, I got the iPad and there was honestly like probably the first game I got because I saw like all my friends playing this weird game and I wanted to try it out. So started playing then. I remember specifically right when Town Hall 12 dropped and like the
Oh,
Town Hall fights back and E-Drags and I was just like, this is crazy. I remember exactly where I was when I found out about it. I'm like,
really?
it was
Were you, were
yeah.
you, were you hooked like right away, or were
Oh
you
yeah. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, it was pretty much that, and then played a little bit of Geometry Dash on the side, but mainly Clash of Clans.
So 2018, you're fired up on your new
Yeah.
iPad.
hmm And pretty much from there, I kind of like it was. I was definitely like into it at the beginning, but it kind of kept increasing. Like my interest kept increasing and increasing. And in 2020, I joined a really war-heavy clan, which I had never done before.
Were you in like
Uh,
with friends and stuff before that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We had a swim team clan called Swim Hard, and that one died out very quickly though.
Drowned.
So yeah, but so yeah, it was big war heavy clan. Really got into it then. That was Town Hall 14 was the max. I was super rushed at the time too. Like I just always wanted the newest and shiny thing, you know.
Oh, okay.
So that was that. And then 2022, 2023, that clan started to die out. And I actually joined a new swim team. And the bunch of my friends on the swim team, the new one, had a clan. And so they invited me to it. And that one, I was in it for a good like 2 or 3 years, I would say.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah.
Were
But
they
people, hmm?
Were they like pretty war heavy, or I think you were about to just tell me that.
Yeah, they were decently war heavy. We'd probably war either once to twice a week, and then
Oh,
always do EWL and stuff. But it was I was definitely the I was always like the highest town hall by a long shot. I think the closest was other people were like 12s and 13s. So
oh
uh,
wow.
yeah, it was kind of more for a fun thing. And then right right before Town Hall 15 came out, like this was probably yeah, it was like weeks beforehand. I'm from Oregon and I had a swim meet up in Washington. It was like a mid-season championship meet. And we do that every year. And so the drive down is like 4 to 5 hours long. And so I was currently elder in that clan, and I really wanted to be co-leader because I had pretty much set up like all the wars and strategy and everything. Like I was pretty much acting
you were
as it
doing
without.
the you were doing the work.
Yeah, yeah. and they knew I wanted it really bad and were just kind of teasing me with it. So they're like having me do all these random things to try it. And yeah, if you do this, we'll give it to you. So I do it, and they just don't. But
You're
then
being
right,
hazed.
yeah, exactly. But so right before that meet, they said that if I made it to Legends League, because at the time I think I was in like Masters or something for farming, and they said if I pushed up to Legends League and stayed there for a couple days, and I like if I managed to stay within it, then they would give me co. And so I did that, and I literally spent the entire 5 hour drive just popping training potions, sneaky gobs, going crazy.
Oh my God. Where were you like before that? Like way down or
Yeah, I was. I think I was in Masters. Um, maybe below that even. I mean, it was because the farming back then was really good, really low, and
nice.
so
And
I made it to Legends like right when I got to the meet, and meets are usually like 3 to 4 days long. And I stayed in it throughout the meet. It was very hard because I'm, trying to think about swim, but also trying and stay up in Legends. And I've never
yeah.
really hacked before other than E-drag spam. And stayed in it, made it. And then they're like, yeah, no, we're just kidding. And I
No
was like,
way.
and I spent so many hours like grinding, grinding, grinding.
Holy crap.
I,
Oh man.
yeah. So
Oh.
I was like, okay, well, I'm done playing Clash of Clans then. And
Oh
so I
yeah.
put the game up
Yeah,
for
I
a
could
year.
imagine. Was Legends then like you had to was it the 8 attacks?
Yeah, yep. I didn't even really completely understand how it worked back then. So I was just like, I'd do a few attacks, and, it was probably 1 to 2 stars per attack, and it was super hard bases and stuff. And
Oh. And yeah, and you're pretty new and what was your town hall 15?
I think I was still a 14. Yeah, but I was
14.
going against like 15s and stuff, and it was,
Did you ever get
yeah.
your revenge on them?
I so a year later, it literally at the exact same meet, we were driving up, and I was super bored. I'm like, I should play Clash of Clans again because I remembered what had happened, and so
You're
I
having
downloaded
flashbacks.
it. Yeah, I re-downloaded it and saw all this equipment, and like it was crazy. And I'm like, what
Your
is even going
eyes danced.
on? Yeah. Oh yeah. And it was like right after the Giant Gauntlet came out and stuff. And I was like, it was crazy. And I had heard stories about it from my friends. And I was like, it's not the same game.
I'd heard tales told.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so that must have been about last year, about this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and when were you like a 15 when you came back or 14 still?
Um, I don't remember if because when you're not active for so long, Supercell starts auto upgrading stuff. I don't know if
They
they
do?
yeah. I think it's 90 days. If you're not active for 90 days, they just start upgrading stuff for you.
Oh.
And I think they might have upgraded my town hall to 15. Either that or I had two hammers or something because I went straight to 16. I was not
You
gonna
were
mess with.
and you went straight to 17 now too, which we
Yeah, yeah.
uh and so you get back the one how many accounts do you have?
I have seven right now, but four of them are kind of inactive. They're in their own clan that I was using to war with myself. I mean, I would literally like type in the chat stuff, and I'd respond to myself on my other account and stuff. Like,
Oh,
but it was, yeah, that
did
was when I was driving home from Florida, and it was like a 10-day drive, and I was just
Jesus.
so I would start a war, and I'd be like a town hall 4, let's say, and then I would push up to like town hall 7, have crazy good troops, and then I would just crush whoever I was in the war with.
Nice. Do you
Yeah.
play those? Do you play them now? Those accounts?
Um, not as much, not those four. I'm just relying on the auto upgrades. So hopefully when I come back, once this account is fully maxed, then it'll be a lot better.
Oh, very nice. I did not know that they did that.
Yeah. They don't do like a ton. anymore, but it's definitely they do put a few levels on things for sure.
And then you found yourself to the House of L, and
Yep,
uh,
yep,
and now you're pushing up to Legends League too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Again.
So
So this is like what, 2 years now since the meet
yeah,
of
since the
Doom.
first one, the one where I quit playing was 2 years ago, and then I started playing again about a year ago.
And
And
so coming back, what are you thinking? What's
yeah, well, so when I first came back, I was still elder, obviously, and my friend was in the car with me, and I don't know if
that
he was
still left you as
asleep or
elder?
something. Yeah. But he didn't have his phone for a second, and I think it was like on Clash of Clans. So I quickly stole his phone, changed myself to co-leader, and then gave it back to him without him noticing.
Oh,
So I got to enjoy the co for a little bit. And
that is awesome.
yeah,
This sweet revenge.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know if you had listened to any of the old episodes, but I did that to Boneyard during a very big war. It
Oh,
was one of the
really?
Yeah, it was the war between our two clans, and I was
Hmm.
actually in the war with my second account at the time, and he had no idea, but I was the leader through almost the entire war
Oh my goodness.
when I was the leader of the other clan. So yeah,
Hmm.
it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And so now finding yourself going into Legend League,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about it. What made you jump? And I know I saw in the chat too that you were like, "This is so fun." I think was that you that said that. That
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you're kind of making me think about doing it. So
Hmm.
tell me about it.
Yeah.
What's your
Well, I moved up over Thanksgiving break. And I wasn't sure about it because I've been in Champs, what was it? Champs 2, I think. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it was Champs 2 forever because that's like a perfect, there's a sweet spot of like 100 trophies where it's just like every single base is dead. Every single base just has max storages, max collectors, and so it would just be super easy for farming because I was still rushed up
yeah.
until pretty much Hammer Jam. I fully unrushed.
It never seemed like you were rushed to me. I guess. Well, you were always you've been above me the whole time until
Mm.
I think you still are. Yeah, you're still above me. Um, but you didn't seem like you weren't like super rushed where it was like
Yeah.
level one archer towers or anything. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
your base was holding up and stuff, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. When I moved up into that war clan back in 2020, I was the level one everything, and they were like, "We'll let you in, but you can't upgrade anything until you get like your town hall until you get things kind of up to par." So that kind of unrushed me a lot. And then
Did it
with
bum
my
you
swim
out?
team. Hmm?
Did it bum you out that you had to like slow down on?
A little bit, but it was also kind of like I know I should. Just
Yeah,
I kind of felt bad, like I was just getting wrecked in wars and stuff. But yeah, when I joined L, actually, I actually waited because I knew I wanted to because I was just looking for because I would always listen to podcasts while I work, and I was
yeah,
trying to find like a Clash Clans one, obviously, because that's what I was really into at the time and still are. And I found you guys, and then one of them you were like kind of advertising the clan. I think it was the first set of the new ones that you advertised the clan to be joinable. I'm like, oh, that would be really fun.
yeah. I think we got it kind of up and running, and
Hmm. And so for I knew I wanted to for probably a month or two, but I didn't want to join because I was still pretty rushed. So I was really working on it, trying to unrush so I could kind of be accepted there and feel
just be
better
like,
about myself.
no, this. I know I'm a little rushed, but I'm getting there. No, I don't even remember you being like super rushed. So
Yeah, no,
so you beefed it up,
yeah, I definitely did before I moved over.
and then you made your debut.
Yep. Yeah. And that was like the best Clash of Clans decision I've ever made because it 1,000 times better in L than any clan I've ever been in.
Just more active, like I suppose there's
Yeah.
lots of people coming and going and doing stuff all the time, I think, which is
Hmm.
nice.
And
Uh
like I like that there's so much skill. Like there's a very like there's obviously there's really, really, really good players and there's more
there's me.
casual players that are still good then. Like so it's nice having like that kind of wide gap where
Yeah.
like I feel comfortable if I get a 2 star and I'm not like, well, I don't beat myself up because of you guys, but I beat myself up just because I want the
Yeah.
3 star. But
That's the thing. It's like when those attacks don't go good, there is or well, I guess is the
Mhm.
correct um uh they that like the hardest person on about the attack is that person. Like there's nothing anybody can say to me that's going to make me feel worse about my attack or
Oh
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Cuz you
Yeah.
everybody's going in there going I'm going to do my best. I've got pretty much a plan.
Yeah.
Um and it's like, oh, especially those close ones.
Oh
Um
my, yeah.
but yeah, it is nice to because then you're not like last night I was going through I thought I'll do my attacks cuz I don't know about you, but I'm kind of feeling like I get a little bit like closer to being like feeling good. Like I've got my hands
Mhm.
on this thing. And then the next
Yeah.
second I'm like this war. I'm like I don't feel good about any of these bases.
Right, right, right.
And
Yeah. I actually just did my attack right, both of them, both my war attacks right before I came on. And I had from the cookie chaos thing that's happening
yeah.
right now. I got a oh, which treat was it? It's the one that maxes your equipment and heroes.
Ooh.
And so that's why I've been friendly challenging myself so much, especially yesterday, because I had the treat on and it doesn't use your attacks, like because you get 3 attacks with the treat before it goes away, but
Yeah.
friendly challenges don't count. So I get to practice an attack at pretty much max level, so I can see like what's good. And
Oh.
I was just pretty much 100% in 3 starring every single time I go into war, and I'm like 93% 2 star today. I'm like, no, it's so
Oh, so
close.
you were seeing like the equipment level. Is that what you're
Hmm.
saying? Like the difference? So
Yeah.
wait a second. So this is that that treat that you so you activate it,
Yeah. So it's the one that they give
trainable
you
is
like
it
24 hours to use it before they just go away. And so once you use it, you get like 3 attacks with equipment and heroes at max level. I
oh,
think it's the
okay.
Mighty Morph,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
what it
Yep, Mighty Morsel. And so are you
was.
kind of saying that you get around the being able to use are you saying like if I'm hearing you right, you're saying if you
Mhm.
pop that thing and you don't go do a regular attack, you can
Mhm.
use it more?
Yeah, so the only ones that count for the 3 attacks are wars and actual attacks, but friendly challenges don't count. So I just practiced for
Oh,
like 5 hours yesterday, just attacking over and over and over and over
holy
again to complete the army,
shit
and it was
balls.
just yeah, it's amazing for that.
But so you have to activate it and then basically just go, "Oh, I'm going to practice until
Hmm.
I'm ready to do the stuff."
Yeah, exactly. And so
Oh my
now I
god,
feel
that's
like I
cool.
know exactly which equipment I want to upgrade and focus on my upgrades because it's like what 3, 4 months to max out an epic equipment with everyday attacks, everyday warring, everyday CWL, like every single time you do everything. It's still like 3 to 4 months. So
Yeah, it's like I'm really seeing that now with is your stuff maxed? Do you have anything
oh
maxed?
no. I have I let's see, I maxed the giant gauntlet literally 3 days before they nerfed it into the ground.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Let's see. I have the healing tome maxed. I got the haste vial and the hog puck. Yeah, Hog Puppet is Hog Pocket, I guess, is next. Everything else I just have to like kind of like the minimum like viable levels, like the mirror gets really good at level 18 because that's where you get
Yeah.
two. So I just left that at 18. And then yeah, it's been hard, especially because I was down in oh which league was it? Champs. I was in Champ 3
That's
so long um just for farming. And so I missed out on so much ore. So now that I'm in Legends, I'm
oh.
back up, but I'm so far behind on equipment.
I didn't even. I know Tip is like said it, and I wouldn't not have really kind of computed to me probably for a long time about that differential and the amount of ore that you're getting. If you're sitting up in Legend League, that's where I'm just kind of staying right up at the cusp. But I'm finding like tons and tons of loot. Like it's really
Mhm.
good, but stay
Mm.
at that 100 level. So
So
how is Legends League for loot and for how's life as a legend? I guess is what I.
it's great. So I moved up over Thanksgiving break, and I was very worried because it's 8 attacks a day. That does not seem like it would provide enough loot to keep up with
That's what
upgrades.
I was wondering.
And so I was asking people in the chat because I knew I kind of wanted to, and I knew I was going to eventually. And I mean, I wasn't grind. I'm not going to grind heroes anymore because now they're
Yeah,
only like 5 levels off max. So I will just
yeah.
use keeping them up using hero books, except for the minion prince. I'm having him down, but so Dark Elixir isn't as much of a choke point.
And then
Which that's
they increase the dark elixir too, like the amount
yeah.
we get, which is nice.
hmm Yeah. So, I mean, that's really what I was worried about. And I was asking, I think it was GCBC that responded and a couple others, and pretty much said like they haven't had a sleepy builder in Legends, and they've been in Legends for years and years, and they haven't had a sleepy builder in so long. So I'm like, this should be fine. So,
I think that's the conversation I was reading, and then I had
mhm.
talked to Tyler about that too.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, I pushed up. It was Sneaky Gobs for 5 hours, man, and pushed up into Legends. And I mean, I haven't. The other problem with being so low is I was literally all I did all day was Sneaky Gobs. Like I've never done real attacks other than War, and so
um,
I wasn't the best attacker in the world. Like I did my Super Witch Fireball attack, which I could 2-star pretty much every time, but I rarely would get 3 stars. And so now being in Legend, it's really nice for practice. That's for sure.
yeah, I think this is all clicking in my timeline as you're talking. I'm like putting things together, and and I think I remember you saying, um, I think there were a couple people at the time that were kind of switching over to just doing regular armies.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you? It's just I love that. I don't know why. I just love just hitting with the farming or not a farming army, but
hmm
did you see like a difference or is it how do you? Well, I guess like with legends, you can't really farm.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And how long have you been in there now?
It's
It's gotta be like.
December, so probably about a month.
Are you pushing like for the top?
I want to, and I keep looking at like the leaderboard in the clan, and like I was doing pretty good. I was like second for a while, and then I feel like super witches as things are being upgraded are losing their viability. Like they were pretty good at the very start of 17, but with the new merged cannon and archer tower, it's
Oh,
definitely
nasty stuff.
yeah. Oh
They're
yeah.
strong.
They get shredded. So I've been transitioning from them for the last week now.
What are you switching? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been okay. So are you using the ones you're FCing? Like, because
I just started. this new army using it in Legends last night, actually, or 2 nights ago, because the boots had just come out, and
But before that, you were using E Titan. Were you using the E Titan attack?
I think I've only been using Super Witches for a while.
Oh, okay.
And then I did try a little bit of Hydra, but I know it's super strong right now, but I can't get back to Clash of Dragons. Like I had done that for years, and it's just I don't know. It seems not too easy to me because there is some skill in it, but it's just I like the ground. I like the feel of ground armies more.
That reminds me because I we it keeps coming up too in the podcast. Like, I used to do air, and I think I'm when people say that, like,
Hmm.
you said that, Chewy had said that too. I know, something
Hmm.
similar. I used to run loons and lava hounds. Like, I think I farmed DE for with that for like over a year. I know
Uh-huh.
it was the worst way to farm DE, but I did it
Yeah.
over and over, and I think you kind of burn out on
Yeah.
like one type of um attack
Yeah. Oh
after a
yeah.
while, where you just kind of like, I don't know. Tip was saying that too.
Hmm.
Do you feel like you get enough attacks?
Yeah, I would say so. Since I'm doing actual real attacks, like with sneaky gobs, you could literally drop probably like 10, 15 per attack, get the town hall so you're not losing trophies, and get all the storages and get all the loot that you want. So you could attack, instead of having two armies trained up and then waiting 2 hours, you could have, 10 attacks in one go, if you do it really well. And since I'm doing actual attacks, 8 is like a lot, honestly, to even manage with having the outside life of I'm in college, so all the classes and stuff. I have to
Yeah.
kind of structure when I want to do it and space them in groups of two. So I would say it's plenty. And the loot that I've been getting, I've been at max storages before upgrades complete. I literally was just at max gold before I got the book of building and the gold pass yesterday and was able to get rid of all that finally.
Yeah.
But
And are you
yeah.
doing like that's what I'm wondering, and that's what I'm starting to like think like I think I'm gonna do it. Um,
Hmm.
because I do like hitting bases, but we've been starting to do a lot more FCs. And like last week during CWL and stuff when we were hitting, I just was like I forgot to farm kind of. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm just playing I'm basically going out and just looking for hard bases with loot. If I see a base that's like a Town Hall 15 or something and it has full loot, I just won't even hit it. Cause I'm like, I just
Yeah.
want to hit something different. Like, okay, or if we're in war, I just look for something kind of similar. And so I
Hmm.
kind of use it for that. But during CWL, I was really digging this FC. I know it's been
Yeah. Oh,
around, but like I hadn't taken advantage of it as much.
hmm. Yeah, it's nice that they have that. The one thing I would say, Supercell, if you're listening,
Do
I
super
wish that
so.
they gave you some more like control over things so that instead of waiting for having the mighty morsel so I could attack with max equipment, I wish that they gave you the opportunity to kind of change like the levels of what you're attacking with, the levels of defenses, things like that, so that you could practice
Oh,
a fully max base with a fully max army, and then you could kind of tell what you want to upgrade because I mean it's way too long right now to try and um, average across the board. I mean, it's going to take forever to try and max everything out. So if you
yeah.
kind of want to focus on what's good, I mean, you never know until it's maxed. So,
Th- that's the thing, right? Because like I just hit in war, and I got it like a 97%. Um,
mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure. Was it you that said that? Somebody said that 3% was max equipment,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily.
and I was because it keeps coming up, pretty short like that. I'm like, yeah, for sure. I mean, that would have tipped it
Hmm.
almost. no matter what, because like I would have got that 3% on like the kick or something
Right.
through, but it's a long time to get those up there. Like I don't know, I've got all of them at the ones I'm using are at like 26 because
Mm-hmm.
by the time it gets up to that almost enough loot, I look at it and I go, oh, look at this, something new has come out, or I could get this one up to this in the meantime, but I was saving up my starry ore, and then the electric boots dropped.
Yeah.
And so I was
Oh.
almost ready for my magic mirror to be maxed, and then the dancing beasts appeared out of the wilderness.
Yeah.
Uh I guess that could kind of bring us to that Legends League and the new legendary, or is it a legend? No, it's Epic, right?
Epic.
Epic
Yeah.
equipment. Well,
Yeah.
there goes my segue on that, huh? Uh, the boots.
They are insane. Absolute. They're I
Uh,
somewhere I said Supercell like said there won't be nerfs for until like the end of Tunnel 17,
no way.
but
They said
I
that.
hope not. Someone said that they said that, but I don't know if I believe them. I mean, it was
Well,
Reddit,
we're
so
gonna hold them to that. We're holding them accountable for it, anyways.
yeah.
You heard it here.
But I mean, if they don't nerf it, it's honestly probably one of my favorite equipment in the game. Um, so the attack that I've been doing of the last couple days and I had the Mighty Morsel, I practiced it at max. Um, and so it's called a Spirit Walk. And so what you do
It
is
is
with the world champ.
spiritful, and it's glorious. I
Oh
loved it.
yeah, yeah, it's so cool. It's you have the Spirit Fox on the world champion, and in your army you bring 7 to 9 invis spells. I always saw 7, but then this morning I've seen a couple with 9.
Uh,
That looks
Go
pretty
big
good
or
too.
go home, right?
Exactly. And so you drop the world champion. First, you start off the attack with the world champion. You have to do
Yeah.
that for this um, strategy
And then it's
because
got that.
everything is based on time.
And how are you selecting you just going in like wherever?
Yeah, so I kind of look for if there's packed defenses together, that's going to be the best value because most of the damage is coming from the aura of lightning around the boots.
Yeah.
Because it functions pretty much like a beefed up Electro Titan.
Yeah.
So if there's like a bunch of defenses together with like a fire spitter or the monolith, like it can
Or,
just eat away at those.
or my town hall.
Yep,
The,
that too.
so you drop
And
it.
yep, you drop the RC at the very beginning. And it has to be the first thing that I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it makes things a lot simpler, like counting wise.
Yeah.
And you wait until the timer is 256. And that's when you drop your first invis over the world champion. So she isn't taking damage. And that's right when she comes out of the invisibility of the fox. And then you wait 10 seconds because the invis lasts for 4 sec or 6 seconds or however long the invis lasts
Yeah.
for.
I gotta. Yeah.
And then she comes out of that and goes right invisible again because that's the exact time that the fox restarts the invisibility. So
And
you
I
get
think
like
it's
a double.
4 seconds, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Because I think it was Itsu. I think it was Itsu's video that I was watching was
Mm.
drop it, count to four, one, two, which would make sense with the 256, right? And
Yeah,
then the spirit fox. So you have to have the spirit fox on,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah, spirit
Hmm.
fox, um, and then invis,
Yeah. So then you
and
end up at 44
and
or
she
46, 46.
and so she's gonna have to like. So you're gonna invis her, and she's not gonna hit any of the defenses in that path, right? So you.
Right. But the boots will take care of it anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I did not even think about that.
yeah. And then you don't have to worry about skellies either wasting time because it just destroys the skellies in no
Or
time.
I saw I was watching a replay in this war. It did some nasty work on a CC loon or a lava
Yep.
hound
Mm-hmm.
when that thing popped. It,
Yeah.
those like little pups just started to melt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody's got max equipment yet
Yeah.
because
No, I mean,
it doesn't boost in war, right? I mean, does our equipment?
the Mighty Morsel does, and the
Oh yeah,
attacks
but
that I did were boosted with max equipment, and it was very disappointing to see the 94%.
oh,
I
but
think I think I was a little rushed when I did it, so I didn't fully plan out everything of the attack. I was just like the first like few levels, and so that was
and
probably what it
these,
was.
yeah, and these like these bases are so you're going in with how many 8 invis? Did you say
The one I've been doing is 7 invis,
7?
and yeah, 7 invis, 2 freezes, and 1 rage.
And so you walk her all the way just as far as you can go,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
what's
yeah, I was at 70 a minute, 10 seconds of just straight damage from the Royal Champion. No damage done to her, and I mean, it cleans up everything. It is
it?
incredible.
And I felt like my base was holding up pretty well, and like
Hmm.
you were hitting it, um, and I'd always put it up for people because it seemed like you really have to, um, you can practice a strategy on that and just not wipe it out, right? Like
Right.
the base that I usually kind of post.
Hmm.
And then you just pop that RC down and she walks all the way in. You get her like all the way to my town hall. It's just kind of like tears out so much of my base.
Yeah.
Uh, and that was my first view of that beautiful walk. Like you could really see like the RC just shining. And I think that's what like the electro boots do. Um
Yeah.
like bring I feel like she's super powerful now.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I don't know, like I've talked about like the that 5% or like 10% since the update.
Hmm.
And that's what I saw as soon as I saw that attack, I go, that's that 5% because now she's got that aura around her.
Hmm.
And that's just gonna make all the difference.
I
What
mean,
do
it's
you
5 shadow radius, so it can reach so many buildings at once, and it's incredible.
and you're normally sending her in, well, I'm normally sending her in either by herself or on the side.
Yeah, me too.
And just a even just a little bit of that cleanup near or around like kind of the insertion points, I
Mm.
guess, will stop that kind of backflow. Do you
Yeah.
think it do you think it's well how what's your level now for the boots?
On
Would you get it to?
those, let's see, they're 11 right now.
Okay, I am too,
So
I think.
I'm going all in on them. I'm ignoring my spiky ball that I just bought. I was gonna focus on that, and since I saw the boots were coming out, I'm like, nope, I'm saving.
It's that's a really hard decision. I was just like I said, I was just like about to put down my mirror. And I think it was when we were recording the last episode, I thought,
Hmm.
maybe I'll just wait. And I'm really glad I did because then I still have a lot of that starry ore because I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
getting very close. Um, you're gonna go max it out. What do you're using the spear with it?
yeah, I've seen. So initially, I was using the haste file. That was so the guy that I watch, Shock
Shock.
Gaming or
Oh yeah.
something like that. It's kind
Was
of an
I
up
think
and
that was the
coming.
same one that Tyler popped in the chat last night and he said something about that, didn't he? I got the
Yeah,
a
probably.
screenshot
I
of
really
it.
like him because he does a lot of more long form content and kind of goes through like all of Legends attacks and really breaks things down. He's super good. So shout out to him. But Yeah, so initially he was using the haste vial, and it definitely is good because it kind of adds that little edge at the very end. Um, but the problem with it is she just moves so fast that she just runs straight out of the invisibility.
That's what I
And
was.
then,
That's what makes
yeah.
me nervous about her because I feel like she goes nuts, and
Mhm.
it just is like it just darts faster than I can really keep track.
Yeah. And if you're close to like the town hall or anything, like that will lock on. And even if you invis her before it hits, like it still does so much damage and just eats
Yeah.
at the spirit box. And even when she blinks between, because the time of the invis placement and the fox, it's not exactly 10. It's like 9.5. So it's a
Oh,
little like a half second blink at either end. So with the town hall, like the especially the new addition to it, it can if it hits,
yeah.
like the fox is gone.
And after you were attacking me, the one thing I did, I went in and adjusted my base a little
Hmm.
bit, and maybe you're seeing this. Oh, and I gotta upgrade this again. But like, I saw your spirit fox get kind of pushed out of the invis range,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so what I did was I adjusted my gigabomb in hopes of if that spirit walk is coming in this way, that gigabomb's gonna push like kind of where your RC went to a couple times, like that pathing. I did it in hopes. Well, shit, I shouldn't have told you that. Now you're gonna hit my base and it's just wipe all over it. But I'm thinking now, like maybe some of these bombs and whatnot can help like offset some of that damage and like kind of push her, back or outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Has
makes
that
sense.
have you run into that where even like a gigabomb has done that?
I don't think so yet. The biggest issue that I've had is the fox doesn't because the fox starts targeting like let's say like a gold storage on the outside of the base,
Yeah.
and so it's eating away at that, and then the RC runs like deeper into the base, so I have to invis the RC, but then the fox is like all the way still back at the gold storage. I don't know why it isn't tied more to the hero,
Or like at a
but it's
target.
kind of defenseless by itself, and then just dies instantly.
I suppose it is probably at least a little better it's not out targeting the front thing, you know,
Yeah, that's true. That's
but
true.
because it does last, I guess I've noticed that. Have you ever
Hmm.
have you ever tried recalling at the end?
I have not, but I have seen a few things about that. And if you like can time that perfectly, that would be really good for especially cleanup and stuff. Or if there's like a bunch of skellies at the very end or something just following everything around, like it could do some work for sure.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's the other benefit of it, right? Like that.
Hmm.
And I was using it with the revive,
Yeah.
um, which was really kind of cool. Just because it did pop up, like I'm sitting there waiting, and I think there was skellies on the way, and it just wiped those out. But I don't know if you've seen the video. I think it was, like I said, like I think it was Itsu. But I was working on it with the recall, the RC recall, and like
Hmm.
with the spear, and then getting in there, getting what you want, you like activating the ability. Like this was the one I've been doing was like with just the one invis. Go in,
Hmm.
um, get the things that you want, after you've activated your ability, and then
Right.
just mid throw even, um, recall her out, and then when you drop her, uh, wherever else, uh, that ability is saved, so she just starts
Right.
firing.
Hmm.
Um, so I've been kind of working that in. I just when I was looking at that on your attack, I thought, ooh, I kind of would like to do that. Maybe I could just do it with like even just two invis or
Right.
like
Right.
adding like just two and then get her in a little bit deeper and then fire off her spear.
Hmm.
Soon as that's done, take her out and then maybe I could maybe get a deeper path cut into that base.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's and it's so good for funneling too because it takes out trash buildings, takes out defenses, it's everything. So I mean, it can fully funnel aside, pull her out, and then she could join in with the main army and take care of
I feel like we're having a good December, a good Clashmas this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
And what are you thinking of the controllable hero event?
I think it's a pretty good idea. Very unique, which I like. Um,
Oh,
I like it a lot because it's very like it can be very easy, especially
yeah.
the 20 probably first 17 levels are super easy for me if you want to cheese it. And just go straight to the little
Candy
fireworks.
Crush.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also nice because you could do it very skillfully and actually do the level like they intended, and then it's actually pretty hard.
Yeah.
Um, but you do have to think about it. And then especially I maxed it out yesterday,
Did you
and
finish the new ones?
yeah, and the last like four, I would say, probably three especially. I had to watch a YouTube tutorial because it was they're
Really?
tough. Yeah,
Because I was on the road yesterday, but when I got back, I played that first one of the new ones, and I was like, the first ones that we got, I feel like were kind of instructional.
right.
And then now they've kind of been like kind of getting more skillful, but you can do the things and it just kind of pushes them into motion. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or like you said, you can kind of go, and I was always trying to do that too, like be a little bit more selective, but I thought it was tough.
Yeah.
And even still, like, okay, now I'm seeing all these pieces on the board. Uh what do you think the end's gonna be like?
I mean, I finished it and it gets tough, especially the last one I would say well,
Wait,
in
are
the
you
last
talking, is this the end of the event? You have them all?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was one more release.
No, I don't think so at least. Not in this particular track.
Oh, okay. I was under the assumption that this was like phase two. Um, I don't know why. I just saw those unlock things. So you've completed the entire challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just sat down for like an hour yesterday and finished all the new ones and
And what do you get for the? I saw a bag.
yeah, so it's a little let's see what's it called? Gift bag it's called and it's like a snowy pouch with like an arrow sticking out and I think it's a pretty decent decoration.
Oh, it was a decorate. Okay, I didn't know if it was like a special. So I saw that little bag, and
Mhm.
um, I thought, oh, is it a present? Like you open it, it's like a bag of
Oh,
presents because there's like
yeah.
chests,
Yeah.
sitting
Oh, the
there.
chests are I am so happy that they added the chest again.
Did you get anything good?
Yes. So at least on the first round of it all, I got I think I got two Book of Buildings in a row, which was just
Ooh,
crazy.
You
I
got
was in
two
my
in. Oh
dorm.
wow,
Yeah, it was
jealous.
right before my calculus final, and I
Hell
was so
yeah.
jumping up and down, like I was so happy. And so I was able to max out my fire spitters, which is really nice. Um, uh,
I how did your calculus final go?
it was good. It was really good. I felt it was a lot easier than I expected, and I felt really good about it. Hopefully I don't jinx it because I'm still waiting on my grade right now. So
I just had a flash to the time when I was in college. Um, before a final. Okay, this is an embarrassing story. And I guess
oh no.
well, it's not embarrassing, but um, so I was going to take because you said calc. I was
Hmm.
taking um, I think this was like biology. No, no,
Hmm.
this was computer science too. I think it was computer science or
Hmm.
something. And so I was in the class and I had studied, I had crammed all week long. I had been up drinking coffee. Like I'm talking like 4 hour sleep night, 6 hour sleep nights. And
Mhm.
finally I get to that test and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this. I'm finally going to be done. And and I don't know what it's like. Um, Back then you would have to, like you couldn't come in late or anything like that, but and you couldn't
Right.
leave during the class time. Like
Mhm.
you had to have somebody, if you had to go to the bathroom, somebody had to go with you or whatnot. And everybody's in this big lecture hall. I got a bloody nose
Oh
during the middle
no.
of my test.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't want to get up. I I don't I'm I've got a bloody nose. I I'm sick of this test. I just want to get through it. And so I'm just kind
Right.
of sniffling, and I had like kind of Kleenex. And because I had been like up all week, I'm dehydrated, and it's the middle of winter in
Oh
Minnesota, and that means it's dry. And so I'm
yeah.
like, and it's kind of like go like this, and I'm kind of, and it starts to get on my hands, a little bit, and like
Oh.
a drop falls onto my test, and I'm like, no, you know what? I'm going. I'm like and so I finished the test. I turned it in with blood on it
Oh my
all over.
goodness.
Can you
You
imagine what that
sweating tears
TA
into
thought? Yeah,
it.
that is blood, sweat, and tears right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
and I don't know why that story flashed into I don't know why I just didn't get up.
Yeah.
I just was so ready to be done with it. I thought,
Yeah.
let it, let it be a hazmat disaster. Um,
Or greater.
during that, uh, no, I digress. Whoa, uh, what were we talking about right before that?
I would, um,
Well,
yeah,
I don't know. Well,
well,
we can go on to my list or go on to the next item on the list if we're uh oh yeah, no, we're still yeah, controllable hero stuff.
oh
Where do
yeah.
where do you think it goes next?
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
are we going to see it
I
next
don't,
month?
hmm?
Are we going to see it next month? Like something, do you
uh,
think?
I wish. I doubt anything crazy good because I mean we have we have the Rocking Reindeer Toy Shop Throwdown event happening right now as well. So we kind of have two super good rewards, super good everything happening at once this month. So I bet, oh,
Yeah, so there's
because
a lot.
the Lunar New Year, and that usually has stuff.
And when will that
Um,
start? There's a lot of stuff going on right now. We had CWL. Yeah, and we had that controllable cookie or controllable chaos, the
yeah.
hero event. And then
Hmm.
we have like you said that with the cogs, the rock and
Yeah.
reindeer event.
Hmm.
Kind of feels like this is like way more than we would normally get to me. And it
Yeah.
seems really busy, which is awesome. There's like just tons of stuff.
Yeah, I
Um
like it. I and also in the event shop, they also have all the epic equipment that you didn't get in previous challenges yet, which is
oh.
I really appreciate it. And they added some more ore to it. So even if you just buy the event pass and no extra, you can get at least two epic equipment from it, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, and that was something Shane posted in chat too that and I didn't know this because I have the equip I must have
Hmm.
just came in like luckily like at the right time because I got the equipment I think as it was just coming out like
Right.
it was releasing. And so when I went into my shop he had said something and I went in there and I was like what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Because I
yeah.
have it and so I couldn't see it. But if you missed out on equipment, the
Mhm.
epic equipments, right? It's in that toy shop throwdown store,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
it's
I think it's a nice way to bring it in. And he said that if you save all your medals with the event pass, you should be able to get 3 of them.
Three. Oh, wow.
right? Was that was in the clan? Let's see here.
Yeah, I think that, and they're 3,100.
There's 100 free points. Oh, you can get 3 hero equipments with this event. There is 100 free points in the Supercell store. So if you go to the Supercell store online, they had
Hmm.
like a free deal,
Yeah,
and it just
yep.
said claim. And then with the rest of those, if you just saved all your equipment money, you could theoretically, I guess, get the three
Yeah,
and
which
be.
is, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice way to to get people in, that maybe are behind. I'd really appreciate a little bit more ore and stuff. I know the event we're getting a bunch, but like just in general, like out ticking those things up.
Yeah,
Um,
I could see them definitely doing that pretty soon because I think they wanted to keep it low for the release, just because I mean once they add a lot, there's already going to be that in circulation, so they can't really take it out. And they since that's kind of their new source of revenue, I mean they don't
oh
want to really make it easy to get max all the equipment, then all done.
yeah,
So I see them
M-
kind of incrementally upgrading it or yeah, adding more.
maybe like 5 more starry. You know what I mean? Just something like that. Starry is so hard
Oh,
to 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 think about. Did you notice a difference when we did the Ore Wars?
yeah, actually, I was able to fit in like a couple extra levels on my spiky balls because I had just gotten that and it was really, really nice.
So you do it. I mean, it was busy like doing those Ore Wars. I thought it was pretty fun, even though I
Yeah.
only did one of them.
Hmm.
But I think it kind of paid off where you were kind of at least making out a little bit more during CWL.
Yeah,
Getting a little bit of stuff. I could see it. I see it adding up. I guess maybe more than it
yeah,
would have to be
yeah, yeah.
adding more than normal. Um,
Yeah, it was definitely busy though, that's for sure. I mean, it was two normal war attacks, eight legends attacks, and then the CWL attack all in
yeah.
one day. And it's like every single day is like that for a week was
Did and you only ward with 2 accounts, right? During CWL.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or no, I had my third. So I have my third. It's kind of weird because I have my main account, and then I have two others. One of them's a Town Hall 11, one of them's Town Hall 13.
And then try
Both are
hard, right?
yeah, Try Hard Swim Boy 3, and then my main Swim Boy. And then my other accounts are Try Hard Swim 1, Try Hard Swim 2, Try Hard Swim 3, and Try Hard Swim 4.
Well,
So not very unique naming, but so
at least you can
I
keep them
have,
straight.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
number one. It's
Yeah.
just and
So I have my Town Hall 13 still in my swim team clan. I actually I made that co-leader before I left, so I have that staying
and,
there.
and they didn't take you down.
No, I think they finally like they saw the joke to its
Mm.
end, I guess, and kind of felt
They
bad.
said, no matter what we do, that bastard will not give up. He
Yeah.
will persevere. We better just keep him co.
Yep, yep.
Very nice. Are they
So,
warring a lot? They like, or
well,
where do you kind of sit? Do you CWL with over there too?
yeah, so I do CDWL over there with them. It's kind of sad because ever since I left, because I left for school a couple months ago, and I guess I was the only one that was keeping everyone active because I would see them every day at swim practice and be like, "Oh, do your attacks," and I'd be talking about Clash of Clans to them and stuff. So
You're
kind of
the
get them
coach,
excited. Yeah, exactly.
Coach Swim.
And so ever since I left, they all are like have become super inactive. And so in the last CWL, it was only like three of us. One of them had like two or three accounts. So it was only like three actual people that were active during it. So we demoted again down to like gold league or something.
Oh,
And yeah,
what do you want to
it's pretty.
what do you want to do with your second accounts? Are you like trying
Um,
to like do you just like playing them, or are you like do you have like
yeah.
any plans or strategic ideas for them, or
So initially, long ago, when I had all seven accounts active, I really wanted to have like a town hall at every single town hall level. I think that would be super cool, but obviously it would take a lot of time and effort that I don't have. So right now I am keeping the other two kind of active because I know I'm gonna max Swim Boy pretty soon.
how long do you
I
think it's going to take?
Honestly, with the way I've been going, not very long
That's
because
what I'm wondering.
I mean, I'm maxing out three of my air defenses right now.
Yeah.
Fire spitters are already maxed. I already have all three Ricos maxed. And then hammers will take care of the Archer towers, and then it's just like bombs and walls at that point. So,
And
I
then
mean, with the initial release, it wasn't a ton.
yeah, that's what I'm kind of I was looking at the base wondering the same thing. I'm like, wow, I've done a lot of work already.
Yeah.
Um and then once you're so you kind of and so I was wondering that too, like if I get my base to max, or am I going to get to a point where I'm just I suppose walls, I guess I've got a
Yeah.
long way. I mean, I look at it and think, oh, I'm getting close, but I guess with Hammer Jam and everything, I'm just so like in that mindset
Mhm.
of like, um, and then you think once you're done with that, you'll just focus on the other accounts.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm gonna stay in Legend, and I eventually want to do some Legend pushing. I'm super competitive, and I just sounds so fun to try and get as high as I can.
I think we
If I
should do a clan push. Did you hear that like zero to hero contest
Yeah,
like
yeah,
idea?
that'd be fun.
I think when
Although that would mean a lot more sneaky gob farming for me, and I
yeah,
might not be able to do that.
and maybe it was really fun. We did this like in the past where we did this zero to hero event where I think it was like 3 days, or maybe it was 1 week. I can't remember, or 5 days. It was something like that. We kind of figured
Right.
here's a decent amount of time. And within that 5 days, all you had to do was lock in your highest trophy and your lowest trophy. And it would be the
Mm.
difference between the two that would decide like the winner. So like
Right.
you would start out, and so the and I can't remember. I think it was basically like how were you going to start the challenge? Or are you going to start it like get ready for it by doing whatever eh, do you start like where do you start, in the trophies?
Mm.
And so it started off and we dropped and we tried to get as low to zero as possible, which was really hard. Like you get
Yeah.
to a point where you can't get below, and then like climb up as far as you can go,
Mhm.
and and then take the spread. But some people wouldn't go down very far, and because they're like, you know what, I'm gonna spend much more time on the top end. And so
Oh,
everybody played like
yeah.
and yeah, and like it was the first time we did it, and when we kind of had like that was gonna kind of thought that would be the strategy, but like other strategies emerged, and
Right.
and I think with Legends that kind of puts a different spin on it, because at the time I don't think there wasn't Legends. I don't think. I mean, there was nothing where you could only attack 8 times a day. So
Right.
I think like with doing something like this, you could do that would kind of force like a different kind of spread, So you'd probably want to go down farther. But
Yeah.
we should do like an overall push event, which is kind of nice to do like in January, like when people are around and it's freaking cold. I suppose you're not going to be
Yeah.
getting that cold. Uh,
I will back home, but it's gonna be miserable. It's like sunny and like 70s, 80s here. I'm gonna go home to Oregon. It's gonna be miserable, cold and rain and maybe a little bit of snow. And it's gonna be a big day, that's for sure.
yeah, and you've had quite the time since joining the House of L. You all may know Swim from earlier hurricanes in the podcast history. You know, I I can't. I'm a little speechless. Um, Swim Boy, if you didn't know, if you do not know the the earlier episodes, it was Hurricane uh Helene, or which hurricane was it?
Uh, I went through both actually, Helen and Milton.
Okay, and this was, I think, Milton, right? This was like it was, which one did you swim in?
So is Helene. And it was just coming over us. We didn't get hit directly. I'm in Tampa, and we didn't get hit directly with it, but we definitely still had, some of the winds, rain, lightning, all of that.
It was just,
And
yeah, a little bit of
my
dusting of rain.
yeah, a group of guys and I went out. There's this small pool outside of our dorm. It's part of another dorm set, but we have access to it. And we went out, and it was like the worst that we got of the hurricane, and swam in it and played some different swim games and stuff. And so I could say I swam in a hurricane.
Yeah, and meanwhile, back in Clanland, uh, you know, the entire country's watching the news going, it's going to be massive. It's going to destroy everything. And Swim is talking to us in the clan chat and says, "Hey guys, I'm going to go swim in a hurricane. Be right back." And disappears for a day and a half.
Yeah.
And Boots, meanwhile, says to you, "Yeah, do it." And I thought, oh God. And so for that last day and a half, I thought, I really hope we hear from him, because Boots is going to feel really bad if he cheered him on to go swim in that hurricane. And we never heard from him again. How am I
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
track him down? What's going
yeah.
to, and so you resurfaced, and everything was, I was watching CNN thinking, there's going to be swimming by on a
Yep.
log. Um,
So we lost power. This was during Milton. We lost power for 3 days. I think it was 3 days. I actually stayed with this friend at the house I'm at right now. And we lost power for like 3 days, and then we lost cell as well during that.
oh,
And so I think you had just done the war spin right as we lost power and cell. And
yeah.
I got like 2 days to do this war attack. And it was just like a normal war, but I was stressing so much because I kept logging all day long, never work, never work. And it was like the last hour. And I finally got it back because I just got spammed by texts and stuff. And
Uh,
it was a little bad, but rather than responding to anyone or saying I was okay, I had to get my war attacks in first.
yeah, that was, I remember that because it was like, okay, well, I don't I remember, like, you might not have said anything, but I saw that you had done your text. I'm like, oh, he's still alive. It was something like that where I was like, okay, I know he's alive. Or I think one of them was, because I was like, you could check, like if you look at the collectors or something,
Mhm.
and it was something where I was able to see, like, oh, he must have been able to pop on in like
Yeah.
the last day. Okay, he's alive. Okay, we should be all right.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's gonna really, it's really gonna suck booting somebody who is missing in a hurricane. No, I'm just kidding. No, glad that you do good. Um,
Yeah.
and so what's like, what are you looking forward to in Clash? anything else? Like maybe I know we need to probably wrap up here, but uh, anything you're like looking forward to coming up, or like something you want to
Um,
see, or
Honestly, if I could, once I get fully maxed, which includes like having one set of equipment that's just really, really well upgraded, because I mean I've been trying with my level 11 boots out in the wild with
yeah,
Legend Hit, and I can usually get like, 70 to 80%, but the steam just runs out at the end. But the second I got those the temporary boost on them, I was doing FCs. I mean, I was
true.
crushing it.
Y-
And even in the war, I mean, I didn't plan very well at all, and it did not go to plan. Like the little bit
Yeah,
that I did have, it didn't go well,
mine
and I still
either.
got 7%.
Y- Mine
So,
like mine were like 30%. I mean, these bases were weird, But when you're saying that like that level 11, when I so I haven't played with them when they were at that like that max level yet,
mhm.
but that uh, I think I saw your attack, and I saw Tyler's attack, and I think I asked you about it, like, what your boots were, because I thought, can you put them in at like level 10, or am I going to have to wait till like they're level 18 to use them? And when I started to use them, I'm definitely getting um, more value than the hogs,
Oh yeah.
with it. And I thought, even if they nerf it to where it is right now at level 11,
Hmm.
it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if
Oh
I
yeah.
get it up there and they hardcore nerf it back down, it is still like powerful to me. Like
Mhm.
that's how cool I think it is.
Yeah. And I don't think they won't, because it's not like so broken that it's completely changing the game and stuff. It's like Root Riders when they first came out. I mean, they had to nerf it relatively quick, but
The
I think like it's a little too powerful,
you,
but it definitely takes skill to use.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
I'm
so
I'm
I,
sure they'll like drop, like everything. Oh, make it super OP or whatever.
Mhm.
But you can kind of a lot of times kind of see what that's going to maybe be like at a lower level, and kind of go, oh, okay, this is a
Yeah.
low level now. Like, kind of seem like uh the other nerfs kind of drop everything down one peg.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, this it still gets what it needs to done. The not splash damage, but the area of effect damage and all of that. Like even if it's decreased, I think let's see, right now at a level 11, it does 175 damage per second. Which is still, I mean, that is so much on
Yeah. Com-
10 like diameter is crazy.
well, even just thinking about like what you didn't get anything before.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have like the hogs goer, and I know like there's the other stuff, but just even, on entry taking off, if you're
Hmm.
really strategic about it, I could see
Yeah.
like when I saw your spirit walk, I thought, oh shit, this is gonna get nerfed or something, just because
Right.
that was really powerful.
Yeah.
And and I could see it, I could see it destroying a lot of bases, and
Mhm.
really upending some things.
And there's
um
no way to really build against it
b-
because I mean, if you space your defenses out more and put more trash buildings in, then you just get the same amount of value with destroying a bunch of trash buildings, and then the other side has a bunch of defenses that you can fireball.
yeah,
It's so good with the fireball.
and as you walked into my base, because I keep tweaking those. I'm trying to like figure out a good strategy for like tweaking a base, and then so with the cooldown, so you always have one, and then can kind of rotate
Hmm.
it. I was thinking
Yeah.
about like they're gonna come in war and do that if it's similar to this. So like, how do you build it? And that's where I was like, maybe the Giga Bombs, to be able to push out of invis at least, or like knock. But uh that's seeing that made me scared for a nerf for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
it definitely eventually they will have to, but
and so you're seeing it with the okay, haste vial. I like the spear.
yeah, I
Um,
think the spear is better. Because again, with the haste file, she just melts through those buildings and then she just runs right out of the invisibility. So then you're kind of wasting that time that you could be invising stuff. The one problem I do have with the spear is she is sitting still for so long that if everything around her is destroyed, then you're kind of wasting that boot.
oh, good
Uh,
point.
yeah, but if you can time it perfectly, like it maybe have it activate a little bit earlier. So she's next to, some heavier things like the hero hall, the gold storage, and like the monolith.
Yeah.
So that it's pecking away at those for so long, and it will get those down because she will sit still for so long.
Yeah, that's a really good point because some of that, especially with the recall that
Hmm.
I'm doing with the RC, uh, sometimes it's just like you want to activate it to just get the stuff. So I guess that means if I'm going to use that ability, I should probably go let her get into the base before I activate it. So she's standing there
Yeah.
during that whole. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
And I mean, the other thing that's crazy about the boots is um, not just the damage around her, but it basically is adding, I mean, at max level, 250 damage to every single one of her throws because her range is within the boots range. So it's kind
What?
of, I think, like 47% more damage because you have the boots also affecting the building that she's targeting.
No way. Wow.
So, I mean, it is just,
That's sick. It kind of really puts. I don't know how you felt about her before, but I, I feel like it puts her on the map as like a mighty hero. I know she
yeah.
was a mighty hero, but before, but like she, she kind of was. I couldn't rely on her solely,
Hmm. Yeah.
if that makes
Kind of the
sense.
forgotten, throw it in at the end to help the cleanup kind of thing.
Yeah, like wait with her, like couldn't lead with her really. I mean, besides like a recall thing.
Right, right, right. Yeah. It
Uh,
finally getting the attention she needs.
Yeah, she is much deserved, and so I'll probably just start working her up. Are you going to keep your Minion King down?
Yeah, I think so. Just so because I've always upgraded my dragons and balloons and all of that. So I always will have Hydra in my back pocket if like let's say the boots get nerfed to oblivion.
I'm sorry, is that a
Uh
Hydra in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
So yeah, I think it's nice to have like a wide range of stuff, and I think with the Prince is definitely really good for air above probably like the King or something.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Um, well, I know we're running for time, so let me just quick ask. Read. What are you reading, watching, listening to? If you have any of those, and then we can do some shout outs or do shout outs.
Yeah. So reading, I haven't been able to read a whole lot the last couple months
The clan
because
chat.
of classes and stuff. Although over that hurricane when we did lose Cell and everything, I did read. I'm a really big science health nerd.
Awesome.
Uh, so I read like this book on endurance running, and
Ooh.
oh, who was it? Someone I was talking to someone about it in the chat because
Oh,
he's like a marathon runner.
oh, it was, I think you were talking to Pi.
Oh yeah, it was Pi. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so that was really fun. Listening, also being really interested in all the health stuff. There's this another podcast called the Huberman Lab podcast, and it's all
Ooh,
in kind of like human optimization and stuff.
very
Um,
nice.
and then I really have gotten into Kanye, listening to a lot of Kanye West. then I mean, I listen to so many podcasts. I'm a big podcast listener for sure.
Very
And
nice.
that's how I found you guys. So,
You, Radiolab, any of those? Listen to those science
no, I
ones?
haven't heard of
Oh, you never heard of Radiolab?
it. Mm-mm.
It's a science podcast. I think you'd really like
Oh,
that one.
really?
Yeah.
I'll have to-
Yeah, you'd dig that for sure. Uh, Shout outs.
Well, obviously, I'd like to shout out you and Tip. Thank you for having me on the podcast. It's been so much fun, and thank you for running the clan and really all the co-leaders, all the new ones too. Like, it's been very nice joining a clan that's actually very well run and um,
You're not having to track people down, bust down doors, and like hold
yeah,
people hostage or ransom.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I know on the swim team clan, they would have to take each other's phones and do the attack for them because they just didn't want to.
And
It was-
you're showing up for me. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool that yeah, I think it like you know, podcasts, having the podcast, a lot of people who want the same thing come together, and
Yeah, exactly.
it's really kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well, I would shout out you. Thank you for coming on, and it's fun to have you in the clan, and it's been awesome. Been looking forward to sitting down with you and recording. Uh,
Yeah.
we talked about it for a while, and as soon as during the hurricane, I'm like, oh, this is gonna make for a great story and follow up in the podcast.
Yep.
Um, Shout out to the House of L co-leaders, podcast fans. There's Sid. Shout out to Sid. I don't have the full name in front of me. Sent in an email. And shout out to Tip. He couldn't be here this week. It is very busy time of year. But we're looking forward to next week's episode too. We've got kind of a theme that we're putting together, which I think is going to be kind of cool.
Hmm.
Shout out to all the listeners, everybody out there. Hope everybody's staying warm and safe as the winter. And I guess there's some of you guys who get to enjoy this warmth of the early winter. Look forward to a winter of clashing. So, um, I guess until next time. Thanks for being here, Swimmy. Uh,
No, of course. Thank you
until
for having
next
me.
till next time. Oh, I suppose getting a hold of us, clashclanspodcast at gmail.com, or go to clashclanspodcast.com, and you can find all the contact information and like the House of L and things like that. So until next time, keep it clashy, everybody.
Keep it classy.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.